Here we say goodbye to our fashion website section or page transition animation using HTML, CSS, JavaScript and GSAP. Yes, this is the last video of the fashion website where we finalize and finish it. Today we will do newsletter section as well as footer of this fashion website. So this is what we have coded so far, and this is what we will make today, a newsletter section and a footer for this fashion website. Yes, we are animating a newsletter section. Because everything deserves luxury. Let's start with HTML, the skeleton. Then dress it up with CSS, the outfit. And finally, hit it with GSAP, the runway walk. We start with a section because we're cultured. Inside it, .newsletter wraps the whole thing, and newsletter container gives us the layout. This is our image setup. Newsletter image equals the parent. Newsletter image mask equals the clipping box. IMG equals our model on the runway. We animate the mask and the image separately. Because extra is good. Next, all the content, label, heading, paragraph, classic newsletter seduction. Form, input, button. Yes, this is where 90% of your users run away, but we make it pretty so at least they feel guilty. CSS time. Let's style this thing so hard it looks like it belongs on a fashion magazine cover. This newsletter section gets a generous amount of padding all around. Newsletter container layout uses a 2-column grid where the image gets slightly more width than the text, because fashion is visual and the image is the diva. The entire container is capped at a comfortable max width, centered on the page, spaced out with a healthy gap, and perfectly aligned so nothing looks crooked or stressed. Newsletter image mask acts like a stylish clipping box. Anything overflowing, like the oversized image, gets hidden, and the rounded corners make the whole frame feel premium. Newsletter image fills its container completely, displays as a block, no weird spacing, and starts zoomed in by default. This zoom in gives GSAP something to animate back from later, creating that cinematic zoom out reveal. Newsletter label uses a small font, uppercase letters, and increased letter spacing, giving it that minimalist, editorial vibe. It also gets its own line and some spacing below to keep things tidy. H2 inside newsletter content uses your H2 variable size and gets a comfortable margin beneath it. It's bold, big, and ready to steal attention like it owns the runway. Paragraph inside newsletter content sits below the heading with extra margin. It's spaced nicely so users can read it without feeling like they're trapped inside a text sandwich. Newsletter form uses Flexbox so the input and button sit side by side. It also allows wrapping, meaning on smaller screens the layout adapts instead of behaving like two kids fighting for the front seat. Newsletter input field gets soft padding, slightly rounded corners, and a flex behavior that lets it grow or shrink depending on space. It's transparent, minimalistic, and only has a strong bottom border that I'm a designer, but I don't like outlines look. Newsletter content small is the disclaimer text at the bottom. It's tiny, on purpose, sits on its own line, and has a bit of spacing above it so it doesn't awkwardly stick to the form. Finally, GSAP, the part where everything becomes smooth like butter. Scroll trigger, image reveal, the big curtain drop. The first animation is all about revealing the image container itself. When the newsletter section scrolls into view, around 85% from the top, GSAP takes the mask that's hiding the image and slides the clip path open, like pulling the curtains apart on a Broadway stage. It uses a smooth easing curve and a longer duration to make the reveal feel luxurious instead of jumpy. And thanks to toggle actions set to reset on exit, scrolling back up closes the curtain again for a replay. Scroll trigger, image scaling, zoom out like a cinematic hero shot. The image inside the mask starts zoomed in on purpose. Once the user reaches the same scroll position trigger, GSAP gently scales the image down to its natural size, giving that classy zoom-out effect you see in luxury brand promos. Longer duration plus slower easing equals chef's kiss smoothness. This animation runs independently but in sync with the reveal, so it feels like one unified movement. Scroll trigger, text reveal, the walk-in entrance. Now the content, the label, heading, paragraph, form, and disclaimer all animate in with a staggered entrance. Each element slides upward from below and fades from 0% to 100% opacity. The stagger spacing creates a rhythm, like each line is politely waiting its turn instead of barging into the frame. This gives the whole section a premium, editorial-style movement, like typography coming alive in a fashion magazine spread. It works so smoothly because everything is tied to scroll position, so animations only play when the user reaches the section. Durations are long and easing curves are soft, matching the fashion brand elegance aesthetic. The trigger points ensure nothing animates too early or too late. Reset actions allow replaying when scrolling back, perfect for users who love revisiting satisfying animations. Oh, let's see where the border below input label go. It's gotta be in CSS. I think we got the wrong color, let me fix it. Now it's perfect. Let's create our footer for this fashion website now. Alright designers, devs, and people who scroll to the bottom of websites just to judge the footer, today we're breaking down this clean, modern footer from our fashion site Etoile. And trust me, this footer is so polished it could moonlight as a jewelry ad. We start with a footer tag, because yes, we're normal developers who follow HTML structure and don't put footers inside navbars. Inside it, we've got two main divs. The main content grid and the bottom copyright strip. Footer container is our big grid that holds everything, the brand intro, the explore links, customer care links, and the newsletter block. Basically a 4-column fashion runway, but for HTML. Next up, footer brand. We've got a bold H2 for our brand name Etoile, classy, elegant, and slightly intimidating if you mispronounce it. Then a nice descriptive paragraph that says, we are fancy, and you should buy our products. We have two identical footer link sections. Each gets an H4 title and a nice clean UL list for navigation. No weird icons, no over-engineering, just classic, clean HTML lists. Finally, the footer newsletter, the part where we beg users for their email in exchange for fashion wisdom. It has a heading, a description, and a form with an email input and a button that literally only shows an arrow, minimalists, rise. And at the very bottom, the copyright line. Because legal reasons. Footer sets the whole footer's vibe, dark background, padding, and gray text. It's moody, elegant, and says I listen to jazz at 2 a.m. while fixing Figma spacing issues. Footer container is a responsive grid using repeat autofit, min-max function. Meaning, hey screen, fit as many columns as you can, but don't squish them under 250 pixels, okay? Perfect for different device sizes. Our brand heading gets a big font size, bold weight, and white color because in fashion websites, the brand name must scream. Section titles like Explore or Customer Care get uppercase text, letter spacing, and a white color so they pop in the grid. Our descriptions use smaller text with good line height and spacing, keeping the typography airy and luxurious like a designer lookbook. We reset the list style because default bullets in a fancy footer should be illegal. In footer ULLI, we give each list item spacing so links don't look like they're fighting for space. Footer ULLIA. All footer links are gray by default and turn lighter on hover. It's simple, elegant, and doesn't scream hover me. It just politely says, hey, maybe click? Footer newsletter form. This form uses a flex layout with a subtle bottom border. It screams minimalist Parisian fashion newsletter, and honestly, I love that for us. Footer newsletter input. The input field is clean to transparent background, no borders, just text. It blends seamlessly into the footer like a designer seam. Footer newsletter button. A borderless, shadowless icon button. It transitions smoothly so when you hover, it glides right by 5px. Yes, I know, dangerously addictive hover motion. This is the little hover animation we added. The button shifts slightly to the right, like it's saying, yes, queen. Send that form. This is our last block, the classy divider between main content and copyright. A thin top border, centered text, and spacing that says, I respect margins. Time to see the entire fashion website and its transitions. To see if we missed anything, then say goodbye to this fashion website section page transition animation with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and GSAP. If you notice, we have these options gray when they were supposed to be initially black, so let's fix it by changing background color. If you have been dealing with my dead humor for 14 minutes straight, then